Take 325. Hey guys, what's going on? CoolGuy1587 here, coming at you with another video. I've recorded this video about 10 different times because I keep fucking it up. I recorded it the first time and it was perfect and it was really good, but then when I replayed the whole fucking thing, I had I had my headset like around my neck and then like the microphone sort of like coming up a little bit, and it like every time I breathe, that shit would like go through the microphone and completely fuck up the audio. Like I could probably upload it with this thing, but then people would be like, your fucking audio is shit. That's fucking gay. I don't want to watch this. So, like, obviously, I'm just going to do the whole fucking thing again. This is, like, the 30th time I've tried to do this because once you do your first one, you're like, okay, that was a good one. You've done it, like, straight off the bat. And then if something goes wrong with it, then you try and, like, think about what the fuck you said in the other one that sounded good and it sounded, like, perfect and shit. And then you try and replicate that. But then because you're thinking of that, you can't focus on this one. And then all that fucks up. So, anyway, now that that's dealt with, I guess, let's just start fresh or whatever. What you're going to be watching is a gameplay on Stormfront of Domination. I'm using a Remington R5 with a red dot sight and muzzle brake. And my perks are Sleight of Hand, Stalker, Dead Silence, Focus, and Marathon. I think I'm running Marathon. Might not be running Marathon. I'm pretty sure I'm running Marathon. Anyway, I'm using Red Dot and Muzzle Brake on the Remington R5. This is pretty much my general like slang class, I guess, that I use in COD. The Remington R5 is like a really good weapon. If you're like struggling to find like a class to use, and then like I suggest using this gun definitely. It's good, got like amazing long range to medium range is like great. You'll definitely drop players like pretty fast, especially like at long range. I think it's the assault rifle with the best long range damage. So if you're looking for like that sort of shit, which you should be, because like this game, the map sizes on this game are fucking retarded. So like you obviously want something that's gonna have like a sick long range, because that's what all the maps are in this game for some reason. So definitely use this class. Obviously you can get fucked up by like SMGs and like shotgun players and stuff close range, because that's just generally what happens. Like if that's your trade-off, if you're using an assault rifle, you're gonna get rolled by like close range weapons. But if you're struggling to find a class or whatever, I suggest using this class because it's pretty good. And if you notice off the start, just another thing, if you notice off the start of Stormfront, if you're ever playing it and you get that A flag spawn at the start, you see me like rush across the middle street to like this sort of like C building and stuff, and I sort of get like a couple picks off the start at the top of the street, because like pretty much everyone's just going to be like running around from like C flag. They're going to be running into that building trying to get like the best positioning for that, for like to take B flag or to, just to rush the B flag off the start. So if you can get to that middle street and catch the people, like people won't expect you to be there sort of thing. So if you can do that, and you'll get like a couple easy kills off the start, simply because people won't be expecting to like sort of like be in that area, especially with an R5 like a long range weapon. You'll definitely get a couple of kills. But yeah, that's just my little tip for Stormfront, how I play it usually, and like it usually works pretty much. I'm using SATCOM, Griffin, and a Helo pilot in this game play because sort of just going for like a high kill gameplay rather than like a KM. If I was going to go for a KM, I'd be like using like specialists. So like I use this exact same class, I'm pretty sure, with specialist, but that, I don't know, you can look at my classes. I'll do a class vid or some shit later if you want. But I'm using this just so I can try and get the most kills or whatever. Like I don't want to give too much away, but there might be a few Helo pilots maybe. But yeah, that's generally like that's not what the video is about. So basically, what I wanted to talk about was whether Call of Duty is gonna die, and whether like the whole game's gonna die, or like another game's gonna take over this game and replace it as the main like online game to play. And obviously, what I think the answer is yes. I think Call of Duty is definitely going to die, and like obviously at the moment, Call of Duty is the game to play on console. Like maybe not for PC and like all that other shit, but definitely for console, Call of Duty is the game that everyone plays. And like pretty much the reason why is because it's got the most population online. Like, you can always just jump online and be like, oh, people are going to be playing this game, and like everyone's playing Call of Duty, so like there's always going to be people online. There's always going to be like over like 50,000 people playing it. So just it's pretty much the reason why everyone plays this game is because they know everyone else is going to be playing this game. Like, it's the sort of game that you just talk, like everyone plays it. Like, you just be like, oh, you play COD, and they're like, yeah, I play COD, and then like talk about your KDs and all that gay shit. Like, I don't really care about KD, but like a lot of people do. So that's like all that everyone talks about and everything like that. So it's generally why like a lot of people play this game more than any other game. But with the new consoles coming out and games like improving and shit, I think that Call of Duty is definitely going to die, and one of the main reasons is because like Call of Duty, like one of the main reasons people like love this game and play it is because the frame rate. Like, this is obviously not the only reason people play it, but like one of the main ones is like the frame rate of Call of Duty. Like, people play it because the game runs at 60 FPS. Rather than like other games like Battlefield 3, for example, like run at 30 FPS. Like, generally Battlefield 3 is probably like a better game than like Call of Duty, but because the game runs at such like a low frame rate, people don't like want to play. And what I mean by that, like in case you don't like know what like frame rate, like what the fuck I'm talking about, it's frame rate's like the smoothness level of the game, sort of thing. So like a game with a higher FPS is going to be a lot smoother than a game with a lower FPS. So Call of Duty's capped at 60 FPS, which means like that's why it's so smooth, like a lot smoother than other games. Like the movement and like when you move your gun side to side, or when you run and stuff, it feels really smooth and nice to play. And that's because it's at 60 FPS, and people love that shit. Like, people like want to play it because 60 FPS is like it's the best to play on console anyway. Like, PC games, like, you can fucking shove that shit up to like 125 FPS if your PC can like run it and stuff. Like, 'cause obviously you can customize the settings and shit. But on console, 60 FPS feels really good. And at the moment, every single other FPS, for some reason, I don't fucking know why, is running at 30 FPS on current gen, or like last gen 360 and PS3 and stuff. Like Battlefield 3 was running at 30 FPS, which means like it felt like real like lag, not really laggy, but like you can just tell like when you move and stuff, it feels like sluggerish sort of thing when you move across, and that's because it's at 30 FPS. Like games like GTA 5 and stuff are at 30 FPS as well, but like I guess once you've been playing it for a while, like a 30 FPS game, you'll get used to it, sort of thing. It won't feel as bad. But just in general speaking, if you go from Call of Duty to Battlefield 3 and then back to Call of Duty, you'll definitely feel a difference of how the game plays. And that's exactly why people love Call of Duty, because the game's just so smooth. So basically with the next consoles coming out, like you got games like Battlefield 4 and like Titanfall that's coming out in like March, I'm pretty sure. And those games are going to be all at 60 FPS. They're all going to be 60 FPS games because the consoles can now handle that sort of the hardware and the consoles can handle that sort of pressure. Like, while like with like the games being that like the size they are, it can handle the pressure to make it like being able to run as smooth as that. So if you've got games like Titanfall and Battlefield 4 and stuff that are going to be running just as smooth as Call of Duty, then I think that's gonna kill Call of Duty off, to be honest. Like, it's obviously not the only reason. Like, Call of Duty's been the same game for the past like 5 years with just different maps and different gun like layouts and shit. Like, the gameplay hasn't really changed. It's still the same: get kills, get kill streaks. What the fuck? What's your KD? What are you fucking like? That's what they're all about. Like, they're the same sort of thing. And like you can just notice in like the number of like the drops and like the number of people. Like, usually Call of Duty will consistently have like over 150,000 people playing at any one time, and like now like you can jump online and there'd be like 50,000 people on. And I think it's because everyone knows that the game's the same sort of thing, and like it's just really like it's not really that fun to play. It's a bit boring. Like, it's getting a bit old. There's other games coming out. So now that these new consoles can now handle 60 FPS with like other games, game developers are going to be making 60 FPS games that run just as smooth as Call of Duty, like first-person games that run just as smooth as this game. So I think that is going to definitely could potentially and probably will kill off Call of Duty, because games like Battlefield 4 and Titanfall are like, they're definitely like going to be games that people are going to want to play, and if they feel smooth and they feel fun to play, then that's just what's going to happen. So that's definitely what I think anyway is going to happen with these games, with Call of Duty and other games. Like that's like, I guess what some people don't think of is like the frame rate and how the game feels and stuff, and that's why Call of Duty has been like the #1 for so long, just because it's had that over any other game. But now that's going to change, so now I think that's going to hinder Call of Duty's ability to like succeed and compete with like every other game that's going to be coming out on console. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. That's my general opinion on it, and just leave a comment in the description below if you've got like anything you want me to talk about, or like just generally speak. And like I know I haven't, like there's going to be a lot of videos coming and shit. Like I've been playing, I just haven't been recording because the game's like pretty boring and stuff. Like I'm not like uploading. It's not like I'm not getting KMs and shit, and that's like not why I'm like uploading. Like I can get, I'm getting KMs. It's just I'm not recording it because I can't bother. But now I feel like I want to record again, so I'm gonna start recording. I'm definitely gonna be coming out with like more content on Xbox One, and when I get that console and like Battlefield 4 and like Titanfall and like all that shit comes out, definitely getting some gameplay of that out. So leave a comment in the description below if there's anything you want me to talk about, like my opinion on shit, anything really. Like leave a like, leave a favorite, whatever, do all that shit. It is coming to an end. Yeah, I'm getting fucked on here because I've got like 1 bullet left, I'm pretty sure. So like I'm like fucked. Because you get no combat knife and shit in this either. Like if you turn to your like secondary, you get no combat knife, which is a bit gay. But yeah, actually you get a gun. But yeah, I get really like this gameplay is about to wrap up, so it's pretty solid gameplay. More videos to come definitely. So that's it. That's all I want to talk about. GLHF.